Okay. I'm super excited because we got into both YouTube and both Instagram at the same time. So, y'all come on in. I will give everybody a few minutes while I still kind of adjust everything. Y'all come on both YouTube and Instagram. I'll give everybody a few minutes to jump on. I hope it stays an overcast like this today. Um, I really hope it stays like this because I got a lot of things that I got to get out here and do, and that includes mulching. Today, after I feed, I'm going to mulch. So I'll give everybody a couple more minutes to jump on, and then we are going to get into it today. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. I hope you all had a great weekend, and to all my mothers out there, I hope you had a fabulous Mother's Day weekend. Okay. All right. So while we're giving everybody a few minutes, a few more, not a few more minutes, a couple of more seconds here, and then we are going to get started. Please let it stay like this. Please just let the weather stay like this. We have rain expected. Um, I think tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which I'm fine with. I'm okay with because we have been having to run like the sprinklers. So I'm super okay with it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for taking time out of your day and joining us today. I was on my way to actually get mulch, and I said, you know what? Before I go get the mulch, let me just go over some reasons why it's great to mulch the garden. Because I was doing some watering yesterday and something happened, and I said, this is why mulch is important right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello. We are live on YouTube as well as Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I hope the weather stays like this, but hello. So let me just go ahead, and if y'all know somebody that is looking into getting into gardening, they've said they wanted to try to grow. They just even said the word garden. Make sure you like and share this information so that they can go over and get started gardening as well. So my name is Ayana. For all of you who are new joining, we are teaching beginner gardeners to stop imagining about a garden that you wish you had, and we're just going to grow one, y'all, and we're just going to grow it together, and we're just going to be happy about it. And I'm telling y'all, growing is the thing to do. I looked at something on social media today, and it was just, I don't know, gardening for me is just so relaxing. Certain parts now, okay? Weeding is not relaxing, but gardening is. Weeding, not so much, but it's something that has to be done. Again, if y'all want to be notified when we're going live, make sure you text the word Let's Grow, LETSGROW, to 474747. That's Let's Grow to 474747. We normally go live every Monday at noon. We go live every Friday 6 p.m. and this is all Eastern Standard Time. So if you still want to be texted and reminded, because sometimes time can get by us, make sure you text the word Let's Grow to 474747. Make sure you like and share this information. We have a free ebook that I will put in the down in the description on YouTube, and it is in our bio on Instagram. 5 tips to a flourishing garden is totally free. We have a few more seeds left. I'm also on my way to the post office after our live. The butterfly pea seeds. I think we only have 2 more available, y'all. I'm going to make sure that I am more cognizant this season on saving more seeds. I did not realize that people love those butterfly pea flower seeds. They are such a beautiful flower. And It's a great plant, a great trellising plant. You definitely will need something for it to grow on. Once it gets started, it does not stop until frost. And I'm just going to make sure that I try to save more seeds this season, since I see that that's like our number one, seriously, our number one seller, the butterfly pea seeds. And I think we have two more packages in stock online at www.southernentertaining.com, or on Instagram. You can click the link in the bio, and I think it's the very first tab where you can get the butterfly pea flower seeds. And then we still are starting more seeds. So if you're not sure when to start seeds for your particular zip code, your particular zone, make sure you get the seed starting masterclass. This is going to take all of the guesswork out. You will know when you're supposed to start for your particular zone, not anyone else, not anyone you see on social media. You will know by the calendar when you're supposed to get started, that little window. So, again, welcome all of you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join me. I was on my way to go get mulch, and I said, you know what? This would be a great live topic because I was watering. We planted some annuals, and I was watering in the annuals yesterday. And I said, this is why mulch is important, and I have to go mulch. Like, I need to mulch that area. And because it was pretty much like erosion. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you so much for listening in to us. But it was like erosion that was going, and I said, this is why it's important to mulch. So I don't want to get off track. I want to give y'all three reasons. Now, it's a lot of more reasons why you should mulch. And when I say mulch, y'all, I mean mulch. If it doesn't matter if you're doing native soil, it does not matter if you're doing raised beds. I even mulch my containers, okay? I even put mulch. I'm going to show y'all. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't know if y'all can see it. I even put mulch around my containers, or on the top of my containers, because you will see that it will be so beneficial and it will help you out. But the very first reason, the very, very, very first reason why I mulch, and let's take a step back. When we're talking about mulching, we're talking about like the straw, we're talking about the wood chips, we are talking about grass clippings, we're talking about leaves, we're talking about compost, we're talking about, some people even use rocks as mulch. So those are it's all different types of mulches that you could use, but they all have a benefit. And I just feel like it's so many reasons, but here are my top three. This one has to be my number one to mulch, okay? Weed suppression. Now, when I say weed suppression, don't get me wrong. Even if you mulch, you're still going to have weeds that come up, okay? Every spring, the weeds come up through the mulch, and I still have to pull those weeds, but it's not as many. And then throughout the growing season, I notice it's not as many weeds as if you just leave that soil bare. So the mulch is definitely going to help you with suppressing those weeds. Now, y'all remember I did a couple of videos where we used the straw mulch, and I want to talk about that for a minute because I use straw mulch in the raised beds, and some of the brands is a hit or miss. The last brand I had, they had grass seeds in there. And if y'all remember me saying, I'm going to call the company because this doesn't make sense right here. So I went and got another brand of straw mulch. And they did say that, sometimes there are grass seeds in there. But this particular one that I've gotten and have been using for mulch now, so much better. Like, I could tell the difference in the consistency or the straw. It's so much better because I was just changing out straw a little bit too much. And I say, okay, something has to be wrong. But for the most part, your mulches, your different mulches, they're going to help with weed suppression. And we need that because you notice when we start getting into the late spring, summer, you got water, you got light. The weeds, sometimes it seems like the weeds grow faster than the plants. So the mulch is going to help you. It's going to help you um, Hello, 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 Yankee sister. Thank you for joining us. But it will help you. I'm telling you. Like, I have garden without mulch and with mulch, and there is a difference for me. I find myself weeding. You still want to get yourself on a routine to weed so that you don't get overwhelmed, but the mulch is going to kind of help and suppress that. So definitely, weeding is a reason to make sure you mulch the garden. So, number one, it suppresses weeds, the mulch does. Number two, it protects the soil. Rule of thumb, you don't want to leave your soil bare, like when you're not planting, especially for my northern gardeners. You don't want to leave your soil bare, even if you don't have anything in there. So you want to mulch, and you don't want to leave. So let's go back. You don't want to leave your soil bare because the nutrients can leach out, and um, erosion can happen. So you want to mulch. You want to mulch because you want to, first of all, protect the area. And what I mean by it offers protection, the mulch. So, like my northern friends, if y'all have harsh winters, and if you have plants, even if you do have plants like that, like perennials, the mulch is going to kind of protect from that cold, harsh weather. It'll protect it from the soil like getting too cold. So it adds like some temperature control there, is what I'm trying to say. So in the summertime, it'll cool the soil off, the mulch will, and then in the wintertime, it will heat it up a little bit to protect it from the cold, harsh winters. Now we don't have really harsh winters, but I still put mulch around my annuals because some of the I'm sorry, perennials, because some of my perennials, if they get down to a certain temperature, they won't come back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you an example. So we're in a zone where if we mulch really good, we don't have to dig up our dahlia tubers every year. So um, when frost comes, I go ahead and I cut, cut back the dahlias or let them die back. But then I'll put a nice layer of mulch on there. And like right now, our dahlias are starting to emerge from the soil because we put that mulch on there to protect them from the really, the cold winds and the cold temperatures. And I did just see one of our northern gardeners that said mulching for them up north is a must. Yes, especially when you have plants that you're overwintering, it's a very good idea so that you don't lose those plants to just go ahead and mulch. And again, in the summertime, for me down south, I have to mulch because if I just let that sun continue to beat on the soil like that, first of all, it's going to dry out quicker. Um, and then I'm going to have to continue to water two, maybe even three times a day. So the mulch is going to like keep a consistent temperature during the summer, but then it's also going to help that water to stay in, not evaporate so much. So that's what mulch does for the summer and the winter. So it's going to protect our plants during the winter, but it's also going to keep the soil cool during the summer and help with not so much water evaporation. So I have to. If I don't, my soil will start crusting, it'll be dry, and I will be out here all the time watering at least twice a day because some of my smaller container plants, if I don't mulch, I have to come out here at least twice a day to water them. So that's why I mulch, and make sure that it's keeping those temperatures cool and keeping that soil cool as well. Because I know we discussed a little bit, I think Friday, with tomatoes. If tomatoes go over a certain temperature, they're like it's hot out here. I know they need sun and they like 6 or more hours of sun, but a lot of time for us, our tomatoes will slow growth around July and August because the temperatures are over 90, sometimes in hundreds, and it feels like the hundred. Then you have the humidity, but I always make sure I mulch around the tomatoes to kind of keep that cool, the soil cool. and just protect. And it acts as a protection too. So, for all of you who are just joining us, thank you so much. We're talking about 3 reasons, if you don't mulch, why you should mulch. And it's so many different types of mulch. You have to find what's working for you. And the reason why I say that is because I don't mulch with things like pine straw. And let me tell you why. I love pine straw. Nothing wrong with pine straw, but pine straw is a little on the acidic side. Our soil is already acidic enough. Like every year when I do my soil test, the University of Georgia tells me that I need to add lime to my soil to raise the pH up. So that's why I don't mulch with pine straw, because our soil is always acidic. We have sandy soil, and then I always have to add lime. Now, if you want to grow blueberries, hey, mulch with mulch with pine straw, because blueberry your berries like a more on the acidic side. Like the blueberries, they have a lot of blueberry farms and you pick farms here, and they you'll notice that they actually mulch with like pine straw because pine straw is a little acidic. What I do for my flower beds is we just use like the regular wood chips like that. In the garden, we will use the cedar wood chips. And then for our raised beds, we use the straw mulch. But I'm telling you, you can use leaves like in the wintertime. What we'll do, and y'all know I've been looking for like a good mulcher, but a lot of times my husband will run the lawnmower over the lawn, and it mulches the leaves and it bags it up. So you can also do that as well, so that like over the winter, even the summer, leaves can serve as a good mulch. Now for us, we have to make sure that they're good in mulch, because if we don't, we have snails and slugs. And when it gets wet and humid here, I notice, and we use leaves as mulch, I notice that the snails and slugs will use that as their hiding place. Also, people use like the gravel to mulch with as well. So they're all different types of mulch. You can use your grass clippings as long as you don't put like chemicals in there on your vegetable. Like if you have a vegetable garden, you can use the grass clippings as long as you don't put the different chemicals on there, and you can use that as mulch. So it doesn't always have to be something that you go buy. You can use things around your yard, your like your leaves, your grass clippings, and if you have pine trees is a big business down here, um, and you want to grow blueberries, use the pines. So you definitely can do that. So next, the number 3 reason is the reason why I'm going to get the mulch today, is because again, as I was watering the bare soil, because I had already weeded that area out. We planted annuals, but when I was watering yesterday, I said, this is why you need mulch, because I just had the regular water hose and erosion was happening. So mulch can stop erosion. You should have seen my soil and all of the big holes that it was putting in the bare soil just from that one little just from the one little garden hose. Like I would move it and it would just create these holes and it would just be eroding in that area, and it still is now that I'm looking at it. Nice red geranium flowers. We planted some geraniums yesterday, but I I raked up a lot of the mulch when I was weeding, and so that area is not all the way bare, but it definitely can use some mulch on there. So 3 reasons why you should mulch. It's so many more, y'all, but I know the 3 reasons that really are very important for me and my garden is because it suppresses the weeds. It's helping me out. It suppresses the weeds when you mulch. It protects the soil temperatures. It kind of holds them at a consistent temperature. So in the winter, it will help protect a lot of your perennials that you're going to overwinter by putting that mulch down. And then in the summer, it keeps the soil cool. Try not to leave bare soil, and then it helps with erosion. So now that I went all over that, I want to talk about how much how much mulch to put down, because you don't want to stack it up. You don't want to put too much on there. Me personally, about an inch or two, that's what I do. You can possibly do three, but the point I'm trying to make is you don't want to pile the mulch up too high, especially around your plants, because your plants still need the oxygen, like those roots. And so if you put too many inches, if you just like dump it on, you could really like smother and suffocate your plants. So be careful with the amount of mulch that you put on there. For me, what I have to do a lot also when I put the mulch on there, again, we're going back to snails and slugs, it is sometimes a harboring place for pests. So a lot of times what I do is I'll take like diatomaceous earth after I put on the mulch and just kind of sprinkle it around in the garden, just so it's not harboring a whole bunch of pests, because we have a lot of pests where the mulch is their hiding spot and they will come out when you're not looking. They will come out at night and they will, like damage your plant. I'm finna give y'all a story right now. I just looked at my container garden right in the back of me. This is one reason why I always say when I start seeds, I start more than what I think I'll need. Here's a prime example. I just looked and I was like, I know I planted 3 calendula here and I only saw 2, and I moved the mulch, and you can see the nub of the calendula, but like something has seriously just ate the leaves. Like it ate the leaves off. So that's what I'm saying. Like you're still, mulch has a lot of benefits, but you still have to think about other things that it could cause too. But to me, I rather mulch than to not mulch. Like it's so many different things that can happen when you don't mulch versus when you do. So what I'm gonna do is I have a calendula plant I'm looking at right here. I'm just gonna pop that one in there, kind of look around the soil, make sure I don't see anything, and I'm gonna put a little bit of diatomaceous earth around there. Just to make sure. I don't know what it is. Like you could still see the base of the calendula plant, but I don't even think it has enough energy in the leaves, like the chlorophyll, to come back. So a lot of times when we garden, we just have to make an executive decision to pull plants. And it's a couple that I just looked at yesterday and I'm like, and this is what I want to say to y'all too. It's so many beautiful plants and flowers around. If a plant is not doing what you want it to do or looking the way you want it to look, sometimes you just have to pull it and go find another beautiful plant. Okay, because sometimes it's not worth it. I was looking at a plant, it's like it looks like it's struggling seriously, and so the blooms are pretty, but I'm like, you know what, it's too many beautiful plants that I can put in this space than to just keep dealing with it. So that's what's happened with the calendula. I really think that I probably could, but I have way more than enough calendula, so we're just gonna pull that and pop another one in here. So I see we just had some people who have joined. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. We're not gonna stay on too long because I got to get several several bags of mulch. But I definitely want to get one for where like the ground is, like you can see the erosion, you can see the holes that the water hose is making. So I just want to go over real quick 3 reasons. That's what we're discussing. 3 reasons why it's so important to mulch. It's so many more reasons that you should be doing it. Like my northern friends said, mulching is a must for them. Catherine's Garden and Home LWS said mulch help plants stay moist and protect them from summer heat. So very true. It keeps the soil at a good temperature, or it cools the soil off. And she also says, I'm going to learn how to use this chat, y'all, one day where the notifications don't stop. They just fade away. I'm not sure. So, and Catherine also said, yes, I have a lot of oak trees. Oh gosh, you and me both. Catherine, yes, you and me both with the live oak trees. I have a lot of live oak trees, and I use the compost and some mulch for the winter. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. You don't always have to go and buy mulch. You can, we, just like Catherine, y'all have seen our yard. This whole back is like oak trees. That's why we have squirrels in here all the time. They're like white oaks. We had an oak tree cut down, but there's so many oak trees. And let me tell you, in the fall and the winter, thanks for the it's some type of leaf thing that my husband has on the back of the lawnmower that will get it and mulch it up, and that is a good way to use the leaves and put the nutrients back into the soil, and also to protect your plant. So if you stay somewhere where there's a lot of leaves, or a lot of times what a lot of people do is they will go around to different neighborhoods where people like bag up the leaves and the leaf clippings, and they'll get them, and they will either, we have to mulch them. Like some people can just lay the leaves down and protect them, but we have to. It's so many snugs and snails and slugs that are here. Like we have to mulch them really fine, because I know for a fact they use it as their hiding place. Evidently, they use the straw as their hiding place too, because I've caught some in there this weekend. But you can use, I think I saw, yes, Desi loves GT. Yes, grass clippings, you can use that as mulch too. And the grass clippings also provides ways to put nutrients back into the soil as well. You can use that as a way to mulch. But you definitely want to not get into the habit of leaving your soil bare. Like, especially if you're doing raised beds or even native soil. Try not to leave that soil bare. Even if you have like containers, just put like a little thin layer over there until you know you plant, because it's going to help the nutrients kind of stay in there as well. Mulch just, it helps so much. So it helps with soil, helps with keep the soil moist, and it also helps to protect the weeds, and it also helps from erosion. And erosion, I definitely see right now, and that's one reason why we have to go get a lot of bags of mulch. It seems like some bag soil comes with a lot of mulch. Kellogg's, yes, you're right, and that is why I tell a lot of people, you have to find your you have to find your favorite soil. Like I have a favorite, we'll say potting soil, that I have bought just about every potting soil there is, and you can tell, like some of them put more wood chips in there, bigger wood chips, some of them don't. But like right now, for the last few seasons, I have got to say, and it's so hard to find. And I was supposed to put the video up where I go to at least twice a year to the farm, and they have it, and that's the Pro Mix. I noticed that when I use the Pro Mix, like I've just potted up some plants, and when I use the Pro Mix, I have not had to water the plants consistently in those pots versus the other potting soil that I use. But I can't get to the Pro Mix all the time, so sometimes I do have to go to like my local garden center and just get the next best one that I have available. But there are a lot of bag potting soils. You're so right that if you have containers, like they already have some wood chips in there as well. Some of them are bigger than some, and some of them are more finer. Um, must get back now. Okay, have a good day at work, Maureen. Thank you for joining us. Thank y'all for all of y'all who are listening in at work. Thank you so much. I do the same thing too, but I'm off today. And so if y'all remember, if you were on our live Friday, you know Monday is my feeding day for all of our plants. So we're going to feed them today, but I also wanted to get that mulch down so that I can at least, I wanted to get the mulch down because that one has a real big case of erosion there. And we have the sprinklers set on that one. So I wanted to get a fresh layer of mulch just so it could hold in the water so I don't have to water so much. And then so it could stop the erosion as well. So that's where I'm on my way to. So I'm going to go through the comments really quick and see if we have any more comments. But yeah, so try to incorporate mulch into your garden, and then let me know if you could tell a difference. I definitely can tell a difference. But let me know if you don't do it. and then you incorporate it in. Let me know if you can tell. Definitely with the watering. So much, so much with the watering. Um, you are so very welcome. You're so welcome, Brown Thumb Garden. You're very welcome. Okay. And then I'm going to go through. I'll have to watch the replay. Yes, we will definitely leave the replay up. Um, yeah, we will definitely leave the replay up because I want y'all to be able to come back. I totally understand when you miss something. It's something that I want to be on on tomorrow, and I hope they leave the replay up because I have a meeting like at 2, and I was like, dang it, dang it. Okay, you've probably talked about this, but do you try to find the Pro Mix online? They do have it online. And Pro Mix has, when I tell you they have a a nice variety of different soils that you could get. So they have the Pro Mix for the seed starting. They have the Pro Mix for the container garden. Then they have a Pro Mix that's like for vegetables and um, herbs, I want to say. But they do have it online. Now, I think I saw it. I want to say I saw it on Amazon. I do. But it's at this place at the farm, it's so much more cheaper. It's cheaper than what's online because I went to the Walmart that's like an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour from us, and they do it every year, but I don't know why they don't keep it in. It's like a seasonal thing. Like they have all of the other potting soils, but this is the only Walmart that's an hour away that has it, and they have it in a compressed pack, but they only have like once it's gone, and I don't know why they only have it like for 2 years in a row. I have went there and they've had this, but they after it's sold out, they don't have it, and it's just so much more reasonable here. Like when I go to the farm or when I go to like the Walmart. Um, and that's a good, I'm glad you brought that up because but yes, you can find it online. So let me give you an example. So at the farm, I think it's County Farms, we're doing a video about it. I want to say it's County Farms. It may be like $9 for a big bag, or maybe $11, but online it's like $21. And I don't know if you have to pay for shipping as well. Even the big seed starting mix, you can get it for like 30 something. It's like a big bale of it, like 30 something dollars. But then when you go online, it's like 60 something dollars. So it's like double online, which is why I try to find it local. The compressed pack that I found at Walmart, it was like $11, and online I think it was like 19 or $20. And they're heavy, and so that's why, you know how some places charge extra for shipping as well. So that's why I get it when I can. But I'm glad you said that. You know what? Y'all are giving me such good ideas because I think I need to send them an email too. I'm good for sending people emails, like companies email. I know they didn't ask for my suggestion, but I would like to know like why they don't sell that brand at like even the local garden centers. I would like to know that. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna put that on my to-do list. I would like to know. And then I would like to know if I get like a certain amount, would they ship it for free? I'm in Alabama. Hard to know where to get good soil. Now, we talked about this before. See if you can find like a local place that sells like the mulch. We have a place that's about 30 minutes from us, and we got like a compost potting soil blend. When I tell you that was like the best. So basically, they're not a garden center. It's just like one of those places where you can just go get like mulch and um, the different mulches from in bulk versus buying it from the store. Because when we set up the 3 raised beds and we expanded, and I did a price comparison, I felt that it was way cheaper for me to have someone to come and drop off it's like a compost potting soil, raised garden soil mix. It was cheaper for us to get someone to come and dump it, even with shipping, than to keep going to buy bags of the soil and the compost and the peat moss, like all of that at the garden center. So see if you have someone like that, and you don't have to, like, if you want them to deliver it, you have to do a certain amount. But like right now, I could go there, like, with a big garbage can or something, or whatever you need. Like if you have two big containers that you want to fill up, you can just go there and tell them, take a container. It could be like, if you have a truck, like maybe put uh not a trash can, but like the big totes or something, just like, or even put it in the bed of the truck. You can just have them put how much you want to, and they'll charge you like that. So you don't have to have them deliver it. It was just cheaper for us because I'm not good with the cubic yards, but we had to get so much. But when I tell you we used every last bit of it, we used every bit. But he said, oh, whenever you want to come by, or you need more, or you need a little bit, like I could go take a pot there right now and just say, where's your mix at? And it really was a good mix. It was, I could tell, like, when I felt the soil, it was light. You can, once you start working with different soils, you can really tell the difference. That's how I learned, like, what my favorite soil is. Like, it was just light and fluffy and airy, and you could tell it was a good mixture of, like, wood chips, but they were fine. It was so good. So check that. Check a place like that to see if you can find some good soil like that. I'm trying to think of another good soil that I like, that's at like the local garden centers. Normally I will get, oh gosh, what's the name of it? I have to look at the bag and see. I'll have to look at the bag, but it's one brand that I'm not too fond I'm not too fond of. And if I don't, it's one brand I'm not too fond. I kind of steer away. But I will tell you, I didn't know that. I think it was Miracle Grow sold an organic raised bed. They sold an organic raised bed mix, and they had it on sale. I've never used it before, but I used it the other day. I actually went back and bought another bag. It feels pretty good. I can tell the soil, like, by the feel of it, for some odd reason, and that's because I've bought a lot of soil. I've bought a lot of soil before. Um, Okay, Yankee Sister, you have the Pro Mix, but you haven't used it yet. I like it. I like it. Let me know how you like it, and when you use it, let me know how your plants grow. I also use that as a measurement in it too, because some soils already have a little bit of nutrients in it, which this one does, the Pro Mix. Most of them do now anyway. They just have like a little bit of mixture in there, but I always, add like the manure in there as well. I'll put a little bit of that, and I also put a little bit of, like, a little plant tone or a little garden tone in there to just, like, give it a kickstart. I just do that just because, especially for my container garden. I like compress and the cocoa core. Yes, 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 yes. That's also another great additive to use as well, the coconut core. Hello, Growing with Donnie. How are you? My dad says you're never late unless you don't show up, and y'all can show up for the replay, so you'll never be late because we're gonna keep the replay up. The Nature's Care was great, but you can't find it close to home. And that, yes, that was another. I actually ended up getting their slow release fertilizer. I know exactly what you're talking about. That does make me mad when they have something that you like, and then they stop carrying it, or either like this Walmart where they only carry it, and then once it's gone, it's out. And I just don't understand why they do that. And I'm not trying to throw shade on people either. That is the one where I always have to take my stuff all the way up to the front. Okay, I don't know, nobody, the guy told me that if somebody calls out, then they just don't even open it up for the day. So it seems like every time I have went, somebody must have called out, because the gate is never open. I don't know who, like, the supervisor is for that section, so I always have to take all of my garden center purchases all the way up front. I don't understand that, but you know what, it's probably something bigger than me. Okay, it's probably something bigger. It's it has to be a reason. I'll just say that it has to be a reason on why they do that. But I do like them. Now I did talk to our local Walmart, and that's when one of the plant representatives was out there, and I'm like, why is the gate closed? I come here someday, and he said he did tell me that if somebody calls out and they don't have enough people, because they have to have somebody like right outside the gate to check the receipts, and then like a cashier, then they will just opt to keep it closed that day. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it is closed. But I know the one that has the Pro Mix, I've never seen it open. But like I said, it has to be something more than what I know. Do you prefer leaves or wood chips for mulch? That is a great question. I like to recycle our leaves in the fall, but again, we have to make sure that they're mulched. Now, in my raised beds, we use the straw mulch um, for the mulch. The pathways and then our flowers, we use the wood chips. Like I have the cedar wood chips where the flowers are right now. For some odd reason, so I'll tell you, it's really not, it's just something that I've started. So I've noticed when I put the straw mulch down, I do like it, except for when I get the ones that has the grass seeds, because it's just like easier to put down. I put it down, like an inch or two of it, and it does really good, and it just kind of decomposes, and I turn it into the soil over time. The wood chips I've felt for the flowers would be better. I don't know my thought process on that, y'all. The wood chip, but then the leaves definitely in the fall. With the leaves, we will definitely put them like we'll put them on the flowers and the vegetables, because I know that the leaves will put those nutrients back in the soil. Now there has been controversy about the woods mulch, but I have watched several documentaries where um, people would say that they pull nitrogen from the plant. But what is the guy? Paul. Oh God, I don't want to mess up his last name. But Growing Back to Eden, where he gardens and nothing but like the wood chips, and he has a theory about that. And everything is beautiful. Everything grows good. So I just have a mixture of wood, straw, and leaves. Okay, they get me in trouble. Get upset at my tardiness. Yeah. I am big on time, but my dad made me loosen up a bit. I put it like this: when like if I tell somebody I'm going to be somewhere at like 1 o'clock, I don't know it. I don't start getting anxious, but like if I tell somebody 1 o'clock, I'm probably there at 12:53, because I don't know that I'm real big stickler on time. But see, Donnie, you didn't tell me that you were going to be here at 12, so that's why I said the replay is up. So it's okay. It's all right. It is okay. I just appreciate all of you, just joining us for the live. I have somebody to talk to about gardening all the time. Okay, that's why I love this. Y'all just don't understand. That's why I'm about to get off. I always tell y'all I'm not gonna be long, and then once I get to talking, and but I'm just going through the comments right now, and seriously, y'all, I'm about to wrap it up. I'm about to wrap it up. I always get what I want and then go in the store. Uh, I always, yeah, that is what the guy told me, is when somebody calls out, they have to, if they don't have enough, at least one person on the gate when you walk out, and at least one cashier, then they have to close it. So if one person called out, um, and I don't know where that other person goes. Maybe they work somewhere else, like in the store. Because I asked them, like, y'all always, why? I did ask them, I said, why is sometimes the gate closed, and why is it sometimes that is open? And so that was him. But it was that day that I didn't have a cart, and I found that Pro Mix. And so, y'all, I got my exercise that day. Let me just tell you, because I just knew somebody was going to be back in the back. And I was like, okay. And what happened was it was someone working, like putting the plants out, but he was the one that told me at the other one that I had to go like all the way up there. And I'm like, oh God, what is this about? But I got my workout that day because I ended up getting, I think, like 6 total of those compressed bales. And so I had like 2 in my hand, and I had to go find a car. It was awful that day. So I just had to do some research and find out, why is this gate open and why is it closed. I have the straw that comes in a package. What can you do for the grass seeds? Nothing. That's why I switched brands. And I'm not sure. I think I showed it on one of the videos. This one that I got seems to be working. Like, I haven't seen any of like the grass seeds pop up. The grass, the straw that I used for my raised beds was the one that had the grass seeds in there. And y'all, if you were to look at these raised beds, like I went out here this morning when I got some kale, I said I'm just about to pull all of this. So, but the new straw where I planted like my tomatoes and peppers at, they are I don't see any like grass popping up. So that's what, and I did call the company, and she said like they try not to put it, like they try to make sure it's not like it goes through that process, but that they can't guarantee that it won't be any grass seeds in there. Now, because I told her, I said, now if I was trying to grow some grass, that would be the straw mulch where I sprinkle the seeds down and put that on, because it comes, it had grass seeds in there. But I was like, this is for my garden, and it is doing way too much. I would think if you add nitrogen as you go along, it would be fine. Me too. Me too, growing with Donnie. That's why I said that it's been like a lot of controversy around that. But I have the cedar wood chips where my flowers grow, and a couple of my herbs as well, and they do fine. And you're right, because remember, today is my feeding day, and so it has nitrogen, it has the phosphorus, it has the potassium in there. So I keep it fed, and I don't see a difference that is pulling the nitrogen out. And thank you so much, Taishi 23. Okay, so I think I went through all of the questions on Instagram and YouTube. Okay, so yeah. So I am going to go get my mulch now so I can stop this erosion. And I do hope it stays like this. It's such a great, like, it's still hot, but it's not the sun beaming down. This is when I like to get out in the garden and work, because it's just nice out here. And I think we're supposed to have rain later on this week. I hope we do. It's nothing like the good rain. Something about the rain just really makes our plants just flourish. Um, okay, growing with Donnie. I have to read this one out here. Okay, oh, I wrote in my garden journal that Saturdays are my feeding days. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for sharing that, Donnie. So, for all of you that's on there, what Donnie is talking about is Friday, we talked about developing systems. So, if you missed it, in order to keep yourself from being like overwhelmed in the garden and just really get yourself on a system. And so, like I was telling everyone, Mondays are my feeding days for the garden. I go out and I feed everything that I'm going to feed. Saturdays are my weeding days. So get yourself a system. And then sometimes, like I know I'm going to have to do today because I got other stuff, videos that I need to upload. So I'm going to get the mulch, and I'm going to put my timer on, and maybe put like 2 hours on the timer to spend out in the garden. Write down 3 things you need to get accomplished. So you have to do it that way. So good, good, good for you, Donna. I'm telling you, you are going to love the systems, because everything is still getting done and you're doing it under a system. And then you don't have to try to remember, when was the last time that I, fed my garden? Did I water everything, or did I feed everything? Especially with feeding, because if you do it every Saturday like you have in your journal, you already know everything is getting fed. So that you don't even have to worry about that. So again, thank you all for joining. I'm going to go and get the mulch and put that down, and then make sure I feed everything. We have a few more garden flips that we have to do, and I will make sure that I bring y'all along on the journey. But we're definitely going to be adding mulch in our garden as we flip it, as we get everything planted. We're going to put that mulch down because that's going to definitely save us in watering, it's going to save us in weeds, and it's going to save us with the soil eroding. Watch the last video. Thank you so much, Yankee Sister. Yes. And thank you so much, Donnie. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share this information. If you don't have your 5 tips to a flourishing garden, don't forget to get that. My YouTube friends, I'll make sure I put all of this in the description. Yes, we will definitely keep the replay up for you to watch. We'll keep all the replays that we do on like Mondays and Fridays because I understand we all have things that we have to do at certain times. And so I want y'all to be able to go back and get this information as well. So, with that said, y'all take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And then, if everything goes well, we will see y'all again on Friday at 6 p.m. Make sure if you want to be notified to text the word Let's Grow, LETSGROW, to 474747. Text Let's Grow to 474747. And we will text you when we're about to go live. We'll text you when we have all type of things that are going on. So you all take care and have a great week, and we will talk again soon. Bye everybody.